Okay, everybody, I'm gonna make a chart on some dip target, recession targets, I guess you call it. Hail Mary kind of setups. I'm looking at Bitcoin on a daily chart on symbolic. It's on a 7 count, coming down, -7 is what I call it. Let's see. Looks like if it holds this 18,703, that's pretty good support for daily. If it doesn't, it's probably going to come down here and test the 16.9, maybe 17,000 zone. If you pull it on a weekly, and it also has a 14,451, this magenta line, that would be your risk level to the downside. If it breaks this 16.9, it's probably headed down to this 14.4. So, your guess is as good as mine. If you pull it on a weekly, still, you're still showing this 10,374 as an ultimate low. And you also have a magenta line of 8,348 as a risk level on a weekly basis. But this being on a 9, I kind of doubt it's going to hit that anytime soon. That could be on the next leg down if we get another one. We've already made a 913 right here. This was an awesome, buying opportunity. This 913 couldn't got any better. But so we may set up another one of those over here. So, there's no guarantee. This red count is a continuation count on TD sequential, which could continue down to a 13. So that would be at least another 5 weeks. And this is every two candlesticks that it closes below. So I don't know. It could be 10 weeks. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm guessing probably going to bounce within the next week or two on Bitcoin. I'm thinking either this week or next week we should see a low set in. Hopefully, around that 18,000 range. Be my guess. Just going off of TD sequentials. I'm guessing, like I say, we can hold this 17K. It tried to break below 18K though, 18.7 this week. So far, it hasn't closed below it. So as long as we can hold that by Sunday of this week, that's showing pretty good strength. That's still holding up. As I guess the low was 18.2. That probably happened today, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's today on a day chart. So, there you go. If you wanted to put in a weekly Hail Mary calls, that's what I'd do. I'd throw in long term about 10,375. I'd throw in a bid right there on that if your broker will let you, put in bids. And my neighbor's mowing his grass. He always waits till I'm gonna make a video and then he's gonna mow grass. Okay. Let's look at. I don't have Adam on here. What am I doing, bro? You gotta have Adam. Let's look at Adam. USDT Binance chart. I gotta add that. Weekly. If it holds this 7.42, you got another support zone at 4.79. If it loses that, you're probably looking at this 2.42. Wow. That's propulsion exhaustion level down there. I don't think you'll get anywhere near this, but I'll probably throw in this 7.42, maybe this. What is this? 7 or no? It's 4.79. Wow, that's a pretty good drop from 7.5. But I'd probably go with this 7.42. Maybe bid half your position size, and then throw another half right here. Probably what I'd do. Not financial advice, but I'm just setting up a what if scenario. A worst case scenario. You throw in some of these bids, you might get them. If you get a wick down, a lot of times you're going to get a wick down so fast on a daily or a weekly chart, And if you don't have a bid standing in, you're not going to get filled. You're not going to have a chance to catch these low points. Right here on AVAX, you got a 9.33 weekly support. Daily. We can look at all these on a daily also, but let's see what it's looking at. It's got a magenta line. Reached down, touched it today. It looks like they're real close. 1444. What was the low today? 1448 so far. So it almost got it. That's your risk level. If it does close below this 1564, that's a big problem. It's probably headed down to at least that 1444 on AVAX. That's what I'd put in. Ethereum, let's go to Ethereum. Daily, what we got daily? Wow, I'm not seeing much support down here in the 600s, 680. Really, 680. Okay, on a daily. Weekly, what do we got? Weekly support, you've got 680. Right there it is again. Risk level of 308 and 12 cents. Wow. You get Ethereum at $308.12, you better sell a kidney and buy every bit of it you can get. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not no financial advice again, but that's my plan. FTX, let's go weekly. I'm seeing 2170, 21.70. That's major support. We need to close above that this week. If not, we could be going to 1396. These weekly targets is what I'd set up. It's my opinion. Let's check out Gala. What we got? GALA's on a -8 count. Get one more week of downside. You're probably going to start bottoming out on a lot of. I'd say 90% of most coins are set up on a -8. Notice like Ethereum's on a -8 weekly. There's another one right here, 0.03514 on Gala. It held as support, so it hasn't closed. I wish I'd had a bid on that this morning. It would have been a beautiful entry for daily. Now you do have a risk level of 0.02515 if you close below that. So just keep that in mind on Gala. I didn't see a weekly support on it. Let's go to Matic. All right, let's see. Right there, 0.7311. That's your major support zone. If you lose that, probably headed down to 0.6083. I throw in bids on those levels. You got another one down here at 0.5252. Looks good. And then you've got another exhaustion level way down here at 0.1620. Wow. That would be a massive bargain on Matic if you could snag that. But I don't think it's going to go that low. But never say never. It could. We slip into a 2-year recession, which I think we're in, according to some pretty big dogs on Wall Street that own hedge funds. Raoul Pal interviewed one of them. If you got a hedge fund with your last name in it, I'm not going to bet against that guy. I promise you that. That's my opinion. So Matic's showing the same thing, showing 0.4027 as a weekly support. If you lose that, 0.0169. Come on. That's got to be a typo. Is that negative? We're not going. It's not going negative on Matic, I don't think. If you wanted to, you could throw in that 40-cent range, but we've already hit it. We hit it over here. We hit a low of 3160, 0.3160. Father's Day week, June 13th. That was a low according to Mark Yusko. He thinks we've already come, set a bottom and are in crypto spring. I'm not 100% sold on that. The guy is a lot smarter than I am, so he's got his own hedge fund there again, so it's hard to bet against people like that. But it doesn't feel like a bottom to me. But it feels like we're just getting started on that. And the reason I say that is Larry Williams has this indicator in his education course for commodities. You can get his free. It's kind of a little booklet on how to trade commodities, or his little pre-story on commodities. He's not really teaching you much on it, but he mentions this Fred graph is what they call it. Okay, if you want to go to the website, here's the complete website address. Let me look at it here. So it's fred.stlewisfed.org/graph/?G equals QIS £. That's the total website. Pulls up the Fred. It's better if you hit this download button and then get the download for the image, or you can get the Excel. I did both. You get the PDF form, whatever you want, but at least get the image. That gives you this graph, that shows you the image. I downloaded the Excel format also. It looks like they report once a quarter on this. They update it. So we're just below 45. 0.44799 was the last in April that they reported that I could see. But if you notice, it looks like back in 08, 09, when it broke below 40, things got really bad. And it didn't quite hit 25. Larry says when you get below this 0.25, that's a really good buy zone. If you get anywhere close to that, I'd say between 30 and 25. Obviously, that was the low in 09. And it rallied out. That would have been, you'd look like a genius if you'd have bought anything on the market, stock market, but or probably crypto either. But I guess 08 when Bitcoin came out. But over here, when it got above 45, Larry says that's when stocks are getting extremely overvalued. And that was right before the dot-com bust. Sure enough, topped out over 50, maybe 53, 52. And we all know how that turned out. Into 01, 02 is when it finally bottomed out around 36, 35 zone, looks like. But we can look at that at PDF, I guess, and tell exactly. But so that tells you, if this cracks below, and it is below 45 right now, I'm guessing we've just got started into this recession. If we get anywhere close to this 30 to 25 zone right now, who knows? I mean, we could be, anywhere from 6 to 18 months more of this recession leading up. I mean, now the Fed could pivot at any time, but Larry also says that the Fed usually doesn't pivot until unemployment gets above 9%. I don't have a picture to prove that, but if you look at his course or you buy his course, he says it. I promise you, that's what he goes into. So that's what I'm basing my decision off of. I don't think we're anywhere near a long-term bottom. It could be a short term. I think we're due for a rally. I think we're due for a relief bear market rally. Basing off a TD sequential, it's on a weekly -8 on nearly everything. Like I said, you go to Bitcoin, it's on a -9 weekly. You can see this 9 count or a 13. You get a 9 and a 13 close together. That's about as good as you can get as far as odds of a bounce. And same thing on a top. You can look at your tops and bottoms. 90% of the time you're gonna have that. Here's a 13 right here, following a 9. Larry, Tom DeMark's bread and butter trade was he liked to watch a 9 set up and then get a 13, and then another 9 usually. You probably made another 9 here. There's a 9 down here. You put on combo on this and probably get a little more information. Might have got this could have been a 9. I don't know, but if it didn't set up perfect, it takes it off. It's not going to display it. There's a way to set it up where it'll leave it on there. I'm not real familiar how to do it. I'm still getting familiar with this beta form of this symbolic. It's a TD sequential beta form that's released to the public. That's a lot less than the real software you got to rent from Bloomberg for $2,600 a month. So it's kind of, I mean, that puts it out of price range for most people. So I think they're trying to dumb it down, make it a little more usable and more affordable for the public. Um, I'm just going off this weekly -8. I think we'll get at least one more week down on Ethereum. Could go sideways, could be slightly up. I mean, sometimes your nines do reverse. Your 10 bar could reverse, or it could be another bad wick down. Like, I mean, this one, pretty much bottomed out on a 9 count in June. June 13th was a perfect low, 9 and a 13 on Ethereum. And then, we had a nice little bounce, a nice little bear market. I call it dead cat bounce. It didn't get back above your cloud. It hadn't sustained the bull run yet. We've obviously broken this bullish trend to the downside. So, until we break this weekly trend right here to the upside, you don't have any momentum. You don't have much strength. I would look for about 1 to 4 week rally. It could go 9 weeks. We could see a decent rally through December, is what Larry Williams is predicting for the stock market. He's saying pretty much October historically usually goes up on midterm election years from October through December. Now how that plays out during a recession with inflation over 5%, that's kind of iffy right there. That's out of my pay. That's above my pay grade. I'm not an expert on that. This is my first recession that will be charting using TD sequential and I'm gonna be tracking crypto through the whole thing. So hopefully I've got it documented where at least I know when the next one hits, I'll know how to play it, or hopefully close to it. All right, let's go. Let's check render right quick. It's also on a -8. Doesn't really have weekly support. Let's go to daily. What do we got? Wow, not much support. So it's showing a magenta line down here at 22 cents. Man, that's a long way down. And you're on a -6, so I'm thinking it's probably gonna complete this 13 count on this red number. I would say at least going to complete to a 9, so that's 3 more days of down action, most likely. Sometimes your 6 bars are your lowest price action. I have seen that quite a bit. If I was guessing, that does look like a bullish candlestick for today. If it closes like that, that looks pretty bullish. That's what they call a doji candlestick, where you have a long tail on the bottom, which indicates a big spike down, but then it rallied sometime during the day, and if it closes near the high of the day, that's a sign of strength. That's a sign that short sellers are probably getting squeezed out, or they're at least covering their position and getting out. They're getting out of their short sell positions. But all right, let's go to Ruin. You can play Rose if you want to, but I'm not all that big on it. It could be best thing since sliced bread. I don't know, but I'm not much on fundamentals and technology. The technology side of it. I'm not the guy for that. But this one here needs to hold this 1.424. That's your magenta line of buy risk, disqualified buy risk if it closes below that today. We may get another exhaustion, TDST line, or whatever you want to call it. Propulsion, disqualified exhaustion. It already closed below this 1.52, so that gave you your risk level down here on sequential. That magenta line is your risk. So if it closes below that today, you're at least going down 2 more days. Will it hit this 1.11? I don't know. It could. It's definitely possible. Let's see if we have any weekly support on this one. I didn't see anything, but yeah, it does at 0.348 as another support zone. Down there, disqualified sell, TDST line. That's a pretty good discount from $1.48. I mean, you're already on a weekly 9 on Ruin, so odds are you're getting close to a bottom on this. Now, you do have a 10 here that could complete to a 13. My personal preference, I like to wait on a 13 on that because that's better odds. It may not be the exact bottom, but it's just better odds of a bounce or a sustainable bounce at least. That's just how I like to play them. But let's go to Sand. It's on a -9 weekly. Let's see. It's also, I don't see. It's closing right at your support zone of 0.7144. So just above that. If it closes below that on a weekly basis, wow, man, that's down at 3 cents on that one. Surely it wouldn't go to 3 cents. I mean, long term it could. It definitely could. Go to daily. Because I'm thinking, anywhere from 3 to 4 days to maybe one more week after this week. Most everything's going to be bouncing, I'm thinking. Somewhere around the end of October. Your last 2 days of October, business trading days at the stock market's open, historically you've got pretty good odds on those being up days. I think it's at least a 70-something% chance of those being up days. Your first, I believe it's 3 days of November, historically like 95% of the time, those are up days. Now, whether it'll work during a recession, I don't know. That's high stakes poker, in my opinion. I wouldn't go all in on that bet, but if you want to trade it, I mean, it's pretty good odds, better odds than Vegas. I know that. You don't even have to book a flight, but okay, let's go to Sand here daily. We're looking at 0.7130. So it needs to close above that on a daily basis. If it doesn't, you're looking down here at 0.6303 as your next level and 0.6063 as your risk, your first level of risk, disqualified by risk. I would definitely look for those 3 price zones. Might even hit this. It's a 0.5150. If you lose this zone right here, it closes below that. But I would guess it probably closed somewhere in this area right here, 0.63 to 60 cents, somewhere in that range on Sand. Solana, let's do the same thing. Let's see what it's got. It's got a support zone at 29.82. It's already printed a 13 sequential countdown. It's on a -6. I call that a -6. So I say 3 more days of downside, most likely. But if you close below this, we may get another zone around here in this 25 zone or something, but could get this 20.99, 21 zone for Solana long term. I mean, here's another zone right here at 26.20. I'd probably bet on that. That'd be if you close below this daily 29.82, I would probably look for this zone right in here at 26.20. Ultra, let's look at UOS. Not a lot of data on this one, but man, it had a nice little rally on it daily. It's on a +6 going up. Missed the boat on that one. I don't know how I missed that one, but man, that was a nice touchdown here. It didn't close below your support of 0.026, but and that was a beautiful buy zone right there. When was this? This was November. November 19. What? This is 2019 on this data. going on with my data here, man? Right, showing 2019. I don't think that's right. Let me see if this thing's. Let me pull it up on TradingView, see what it's showing. UOS. Do they have UOS? Bybit doesn't have it. Let me go to my game changer list. UOS. Weekly. It is on a -3. What I would call it. Let's see. Where's your cloud? Where's the cloud? Where's the cloud? Way up there, I bet. Yeah, it's way up here. Here's the cloud. So your trailing line on your Ichimoku, once it's below your cloud here, that pretty much tells you you're going to complete your -9. And it didn't even try to come up and reclaim it. So that's not good. This is a long-term retracement Fibonacci. Pretty much macro Fibonacci. But I mean, I'm not saying it can't get there. It could get there pretty fast. I mean, if everything starts rallying and bouncing and short sellers start covering their positions, I mean, we're going to see a bull market like we've never seen. But until then, I'm not 100% sold on any bounces long term anytime soon. But let's see. Yeah, it's only showing on daily. I mean, you got a buy signal daily. Confirms in 6 hours and 13 minutes. That's a price flip. You know, it's a big engulfing candle. Nearly up 8% today. Man, that's a big move on Ultra. Wow. Wish I'd have got in on that. Had a 13 on this hack version of TD Sequential. It's not as good as the real thing, but I mean, you see, sometimes you're not going to get, you know, some of these symbols don't have a lot of data. I don't know why this is popping up 2019 data. That's weird. Let me see if I can get a UOS, USDT. Here's a who boy. Let's see if that thing will work better. Yeah, that works better. There's 2022. All right, now at least we're in the right decade. Yeah, daily, you come off a -9. Now you're on a continuation count, but you got a price flip. This one up bar is considered a price flip. That's a pretty strong buy signal usually. You see over here, you got your +1. We had a nice little rally, went up to a 9 count. I mean, it doesn't always guarantee it's going to go to a 9, but if you get momentum behind it, that thing could get pretty exciting sometime in the next 8 to 9 days, probably. I don't know what's moving it. They may have some kind of news or something. Let's see. I mean, it looks like it's bounced. It closed below your support at 0.3044. I should have had a bid in on that, which when it closed below it, I probably would have got out. Because I mean, at least you get 2 days below that. That's get out for me. But and the very next day it rallies, I guess. So shows what I know. But I mean, you just got to play it safe. Nobody's got a crystal ball. I mean, you know, you try to do the best you can with the data you have in front of you and the chart you have in front of you. That's all you can do. You can't beat yourself up. Sometimes you're going to get head fakes. Most of the time, you're going to get head fakes from the market makers playing games like they did today. They run the market down on the CPI data and then run it right back up. That's just what they do, man. That's how they make their money. That's how they make their living, pay the mortgage. All right, ZIL. What do we got on ZIL? Might get this risk level of 0.02463 on a daily zone. Surely you got something better than that. Man, that's a long drop. How about over here? How about that's 02713. Yeah, it's kind of mid-range there. Could work. 0.0281. Could throw in a bid on that. Hasn't closed below that yet. That'd be my guess. Somewhere in that range. Did it make a new low? I think it made a new low. Let's see, what was this? 2937, and today was 2776. Yeah, so I made a new low. Today. Interesting. All right. So we need to watch that. If it closes below this 2.02881, that's going to be a problem. You're probably headed down to this 024 zone. That's pretty much the most of them I'm watching. That one, and I'll definitely watch Atom. USDT. I need to add that to my list, my watch list, because I'm definitely going to have that in my long-term portfolio. Why is this thing not moving? There we go. Let's see. Let me zoom it out so you can see it better. So it's on a -4 on Atom. One of the strongest charts of the year, but it's pulling back off its highs. It's like 2 weeks pulling back off the highs. So, there's 9.913. It's got to hold that on a daily basis. Right below it is that's 0.0913, and that was that's 10.12, that top dash green line. Let's see. Below that, I don't know. You got a lot of support zones coming in right here. 8.02. Probably wouldn't be a bad price. There's another one at 7.18. Not a bad price. And 6.25. Let's look at a weekly. See what we got on a weekly on that one. We got a lot of support zones on a daily. Here we go again. We got to get, so if this weekly closes below 7.42, most likely you're headed down to this 4.79, according to that. I mean, that's a pretty good drop, but you got to plan for the worst during these recessions. Nobody knows. I mean, even Bitcoin hasn't survived a recession yet, so nobody even knows if Bitcoin's going to survive this recession. I mean, it could all go to zero if Gary Gensler gets after Ethereum and everything, who knows, man? I mean, XRP loses that lawsuit, it could be bad. It could be a bad day in crypto if XRP loses. You're not going to want to be in anything other than Bitcoin, and even Bitcoin's going to take a bad haircut, I'm sure, that day. But hopefully they win. It sounds like they're got good odds of winning the case. So let's hope they win. So let's keep an eye on all these numbers here. If you want to throw in some Hail Mary bids, I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm not going to recommend anything, but I don't think it's a bad idea. Like I said, if I'd have had a bid in on that Ultra, could have nailed the bottom on that pretty much. I mean, you'd have been underwater for 2 days, looked like, but so anyway, my battery's about to run down. I better end this video and cut it short. So, catch y'all later.